What would you suggest that the average person can do, like Troy and I? What can we do to contribute to a more sustainable future? We're just two people. So
Yeah,
what good are we? We're not industry.
yeah. I think there's a few things.
Hmm.
Um, well, actually, I'll give you three things.
Okay.
Came up when I used to be with the government agency. I did speaking. People would say, "Give me a list, Peter. I'm really give me a really big list." I think I've done a few of them. And I was reluctant to do a list because I'm a big believer in continuous improvement. But I will give you three things, and I'll
Sure.
give your listeners three things, and they're not easy. The first is to think. And I think if people will take the time to think about energy in their lives, they will figure it out. I mean, there's all sorts of information. A lot of it is really good. So the first really difficult step is to think about this thing you don't see, you don't smell, you don't taste, thinking about it. Um, the second is to believe that when you do something, it's going to have an impact. And it's really easy to, again, well, China's doing this and we got Trump and, we got all this other crap going on, but we really can have an impact. And in Ontario with the Blue Box program, we really had an impact. And I was fortunate enough to be early on in the stage and young, and I had a beard and long hair, and people
You're a hippie.
I was a hippie, and people rightly at the city of Toronto thought that I and others at Probe were crazy radical hippies. And
Hang on just for a second. You were a hippie named Peter Love.
yeah,
So
how perfect is that?
the
So
ladies must have dug you, man.
yeah, but and we finally went to the politicians, and they basically said to us, "Okay, you've gone political. It won't work. We know that. Like, but we're just going to show you guys how stupid you are." And it took off. It absolutely took off, and for a lot of reasons. But so think, believe, and the third one is to act. I mean, this is not going to be solved by governments. Some governments are going to stand in the way. So we need to do something. And it's just a matter of, your personal habit, your day-to-day habits, purchase your decisions, how you move around, what you eat, what you think. The other, and also I would include in that acting, talking to people. If I really encourage people to open a dialogue,
Mm.
and not just with believers. Talk to some of the deniers out there, understand them. Great book by Katharine Hayhoe, a Canadian that is on CBC quite a bit.
Yep.
And she talks about the importance listening, of listening to those people before you go on your rant about how they're taking the world down a hole. Listen to them about what gets them going.
Mm.
Hunt, fish, kids, grandchildren, cottagers in the lake, cottagers in the country, hike in the mountains. What is it that they really um, aspire to and is an important part of their life? And
Mm.
listen to that. And then you can talk about that, something that is of interest. Oh, have you noticed differences in fish? Oh my God, when I was a kid, we used to do this and that,
Yeah.
whatever. Hunting, whether a skier, oh my gosh, yeah, the runs are closing 2 weeks earlier. If we and the other magic word she says, especially in the States, is do not use the words climate change. As soon as you say those two words, you're a Democrat. I'm not, and whatever you say, I'm just going to completely disregard. So just
Mm.
stay away from those toxic two words.
Yep.
I think they're quite as toxic here in Canada, but listen to people, talk to them about what they're interested in, and bring them into a discussion. And I mean, and this is what comes through in your book as well. Talk to people,
Mhm.
and don't criticize them. Don't sort of let them. Don't come high-handed. I've got all the facts and I know everything, and you're just stupid. That's not a conversation. That's not useful.